Hey everybody, and welcome back to Frozen Frontier character creation. So, is everyone good on their non-weapon proficiencies? Are we done with that?
Yep.
I think we
Yeah,
are.
I think so. I switched swimming to jumping.
Okay.
After
So
we.
can no one swim?
No,
No
someone
one
can,
can
right?
swim. Who?
No one
if
can
anyone's
swim
gonna
unless
swim-
Neal wants to give me a freebie.
You haven't taken any free non-weapons, have you?
I haven't.
You know, you are kind of the jack of all trades sort of character. You're the climbing specialist. It kind of makes sense for you to also swim. So go ahead and take
Yeah.
swimming.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you much.
Of course.
Is there
Um,
is there any water near Wicthron Thorenta? Wicthron Rorenta? If I'm gonna be
Yes.
from there, I should actually learn how to say it, huh?
Wicthron Rarenta. Think of it like Constantinople in terms of
Thron
accents.
Rorenta.
Cadence.
Is that the place with
there
like
you go.
Little Big Lake and Big Big Lake and
No,
stuff?
no, that's Gnome. That's the Gnomish Nation of Mighty Engineers. That place is amazing.
That's what it stands for.
Gnomish Nation of Mighty Engineers. Yeah.
I was wondering what that was.
So can we have a second campaign where we explore the Gnomish Nation of Mighty Engineers?
Yeah, no, seriously.
Only
I'm
if
gonna
you can
have to
get
tap out of
Bijan
this
to
one.
agree to come back and play.
Okay.
Everybody
I
in
can't
chat,
do
just
the. I
spam
can't keep up with the
Bijan.
rhyming.
Well, what a shame.
Leave
So
a
if
million comments on his YouTube.
so if
Corny, we need you back.
if everybody has their non-weapon proficiencies and their weapon proficiencies down, then let's talk about HP and gear. Okay. So first, let's do HP. You guys are all going to start off at second level. The first level, you're going to get max HP on your die roll because Sean and I were talking about this during the break. It makes sense if the party is just a collection of random people from random villages that are like getting together and we want to go adventuring, yay! To kind of have 3d6 for stats and roll for HP because you're kind of a random anybody. You know, you could be really strong, you could be really weak. But for a pre-planned expedition into an Arctic environment, they're not going to take anybody with 1 HP. It's just not an acceptable thing to send. So you're all going to start with max HP for level 1, and then you'll roll for level 2 and every level thereafter. So you all have a good base, but you could be screwed down the line. So you all know what your HP rolls are going to be. So why don't we just go down the line in the same order that we rolled initiative and roll our HP, starting with, I believe it is
Let me
Greg.
check. Isn't there a
Mighty
con roll?
D4. Here we go, baby.
No, D6. Wizards have been
D6.
updated to D6 HP.
Mighty D6.
So it's
It's
D6
pretty
plus
mighty.
6. Yeah.
So okay, D6 plus 6.
Because
I'm
of your
into it.
first level HP, you don't have high con, do you?
I do not. No, I have a 9. All right. 10 HP. My
Nice.
talking total.
Oh, okay. I was like, how the fuck did he roll a 10?
Nice.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
I can't
I
wait to roll a
next.
1.
believe the next up is Sean.
So that'd be
D-
D10 plus 12 for me because 11 max plus 1 for the second level roll. So D10 plus 12.
Right,
on,
so you got
buddy.
15 con.
Yeah, 15 con.
There
18
you go.
HP.
18 HP.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I have 14 con, so I just missed the mark. So I'm doing a D8 plus 8. Oh,
Ooh.
the squishy thief.
I'm doing the same as Sean, so D10. Well, 11 plus D10 plus 1.
Right.
I don't want to roll a 1, Neal.
Oh, too bad.
Been
Yeah.
harmed by this a lot.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
Nice.
Very nicely done.
All right,
So
so
I will
minimum
be-
HP 10, maximum HP 19. No one's going
I
to
will be
die right
hiding in
away.
the I'll be hiding in the tree.
Yeah.
As planned.
I mean, you're only like 8 below me. That's not that much in the grand scheme of things.
That's one long sword through the gut.
Excellent. Okay, now let's talk about gear. I was thinking about
Yep.
doing gear a little bit differently. I was going to have everyone roll for wealth, pool all the money together in one big pot, then have you guys buy the gear that you would own personally, and then whatever's left over can be bought for the party together as like a group expenditure. So let's say Nick's character is a noble and is a knight and has all of these, you know, historical things. So maybe Nick has some sort of like special sword that has been passed down from family to family. So he'd buy that upright or up front. But let's say maybe Greg is homeless at the time of the campaign starting. Maybe Nick finds him on the streets of some town somewhere, and he's like, begging for money.
We clearly need this homeless man to come.
He's really important.
His
Look at the
shoes are that bitchin'.
Nice tattoos.
Yeah.
Come with the Arctic.
Exactly. So in that situation, Greg would just start with clothing, and then when it comes to buying gear for the party, the gear would just get the party would get geared out later. How do you guys feel about this sort of like buying what is personally yours versus what is owned by the expedition?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I can. I mean, it sounds very similar to how a party would normally work.
Yeah,
because we don't have a priest in the party, so you can pool all your starting wealth together. There's the only time you can't do that is with a cleric.
Right. And this way, we might have a broader range of gear, right? So Nick being the party leader, he might have like a metal breastplate with chainmail limbs and a heavy shield. So maybe he spends most of the money on himself because he is the party leader after all. So he's going to have some control of the distribution here. And then
one question. Are we going to up the amount that we start with, since we all need to start with like coats and shit like that? Like we all need winter gear, and that's going to increase the cost of everything that we like. Like we all need to buy. How much would it cost for us to get like fitted out winter stuff?
No, we're not going to increase the amount of money that you're going to start with.
I think that will be the first couple of sessions. Will be us murdering every bear in the vicinity and getting fur coats for everybody.
Okay.
In this Lewin conversation, somebody pointed out I have more HP than Malachi.
Wow.
Pretty impressive at level 2.
You are a fighter. Malachi was pathetic. HP-wise,
pathetic.
Hey, he lived.
Yeah.
Yep. It's alright, Neal's still salty.
Krob got screwed on those halfling feet.
They're 10,000 gold.
Are you serious?
CP. Prices are all in
GP
copper.
cost GP up here at the top.
Word on the street is
those are all CP.
Word on the street is you can fetch 100 gold for a halfling foot. It's per foot though, right?
I think we're having post history revisionist here.
All the costs got changed to copper across the board, and I think I just forgot to change the header.
Why would you do that? That was an insane amount of work. Okay.
To change everything to copper?
Yes, now we have
Wait, did you keep all the prices the same?
No, I adjusted all the prices so that now that they're all in copper rather than in gold. So your arming sword isn't 1,500.
Are things effectively the same price, just now measured in a different unit?
They're the same price that they were on this table, but they have changed, right?
Okay.
So arming sword is 15 gold or 1,500 copper.
Okay.
I don't remember what a longsword is. A longsword is 15 gold, so they're the same. Yeah, they're mostly the same across the board. Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
So why don't we each roll for money, and then we'll pool it together. So Greg, what do wizards roll? D4 plus 1 times 10?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That rings true in my head.
So roll it.
So 40 gold.
All right. So the party starts with 40 gold from Greg. And then I think it's Sean goes next.
5d4 for the warriors.
Yep. 5d4 times 10, Sean.
5d4 times 10? Got it. Is that, can you do times 10 in roll 20? Does that work?
We can just add a 0 in our brains.
I think you can.
It does work.
110 for Sean. Ryan? 90. And Nick?
110.
110. Okay, that is a lot of wealth. I'm seeing 200 and 350?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
All right,
so I need
50 gold for me, thank you.
So, what kind of armor can rogues wear, and how does that affect the new thief skills?
Whoops. 350, here we go.
So the only skills that I see obvious, I think it's only only moving silently that is affected by armor at this point.
I believe
as
so.
As far as I can tell. And then climbing if you are encumbered.
Yes. I don't think thief skills play a role in anything other than moving silently and climbing. For picking locks, it's assumed you're taking off your gloves.
Yeah, for like eavesdropping, it's assumed you're taking off your helmets.
Right, but I don't think any of these skills should be hindered by wearing armor. So you could wear full plate mail if you wanted to and do all of your things. There's
And
no
you're not
armor
barring
restriction.
that for
No,
rogues?
no armor restriction for rogues. Knock yourself silly. But you're not the combat specialist. You're not.
Mm-hmm.
There are fewer reasons for you to wear armor. What is your strength, by the way, Ryan?
16.
Okay, so you're a buff thief.
Yeah, I'm thinking more, lean and, I don't know.
More
lean
like
and wiry strong. I mean,
Okay, so you're like Jackie Chan.
I'm a
strong.
climber.
Okay.
A climber. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking more like a rock climber.
Sure,
build,
rock climber
type
build.
build.
Same.
So,
Not big,
long,
beefy, muscular. You're not Schwarzenegger strong. You're
No.
Bruce Lee strong. Cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
But I'll probably wind up carrying the rope and a grappling hook and pittons. So I'm probably gonna be pretty weighed down with that.
Neal, I noticed you don't have hide armor in the armor section.
right. So hide is basically the same thing as leather, except it's the poor man's version. So it's going to be heavier, but provide you with the same AC. Leather is like,
more
we're going to
warmth.
take this hide and we're going to refine it and make it stronger, but thinner and lighter.
Okay, so I should just get leather armor then, because I figure my guy probably has some sort of armor
Right.
on him.
So if you want to do hide, that's going to give you more warmth because it's got fur on it, and it'll be the
Okay.
same AC, but then the weight is going to be a lot more.
How much more is a lot more?
I'm not sure whether to double or triple it between
Let's
leather
take a
and
look.
hide.
Triple
take a
would
look
be
at what is-
insane.
Well,
Well,
triple would be 45 pounds for a
For
full suit
just
of hide armor.
for full. Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
still be kind of crazy. Like
I
that's
think
more
it's
than chain.
40
By the book, hide
right
is
now.
30.
30?
By the book,
Okay.
it's 30. Leather is 15. Let me check combat tactics.
How much does it say a fur coat weighs?
I think it's 30 pounds.
Okay. Because I kind of feel like a fur coat should weigh roughly the amount as hide armor, maybe a little bit less than like full hide armor.
I
I figure if you've got like fur that's strapped around your legs to have like big long furry pant legs and big furry top and big furry arms, that's probably more fabric than a cloak.
Right. Couldn't we just go? I mean, but like a fur coat is like you just have a chest piece for the hide armor, right? Whereas a coat would also like hang all the way
No,
down. and
your
go,
your
like,
hide
well past your
armor
waist.
is not just your chest. Your hide armor is going to include
Yeah, I know.
chest
I know
and
it
limbs.
encompasses everything, but I'm
So
saying
the
the coat
30
itself
pounds
is
is
also
head to
bigger
toe.
than just your chest area.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I feel like 30. I mean, if it's 30 in the book, we might as well just keep that, right?
Yeah, I could be persuaded to do 30 for hide. Same AC, but double the weight.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise I could just take leather, but like I figure hide would make sense for this character, considering he like lives out in the tundra region. So he probably wants something that works for armor and as well as warmth. So I figured hide armor would make sense. But if it's going to be 45 pounds, that's kind of terrible.
I'm kind of thinking it might be 45 because hide armor is going to give you like the best insulation possible, right? On our insulation grid, on our heat cold system, and I want the better gear to have some drawbacks. I want it to weigh a lot.
So, I mean, I think 30 pounds for a suit of hide seems reasonable.
Is that going to
and
give
that's
him
not a
max
full-
warmth points?
Hmm?
Will that give him max warmth points at
No,
level?
well, it's not going to
that's character
include.
creation?
So the way we've currently got it, which I think is, I mean, we're running with this for now. Although we have Neal and I have spitballed some other options if we don't wind up liking this in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So using the current system, a full suit of armor doesn't fill all of your slots, right? So he would still have a neck slot and potentially even the feet.
Okay,
cover.
so I could still get like a scarf.
So
and
it
stuff
wouldn't
like
be
that.
max warmth. I think it was so 30 pounds of hide. Let me pull up the document. Sorry. So hide armor would not. I mean, is not. A suit of armor is not going to give you max. hero
Hide
points
armor
'cause
would give you 12 warmth points right off the bat.
Yeah.
Can you post the document really fast again?
It's
Yeah.
pinned in the
Oh, in
Discord
Discord.
chat. Yeah. In the upper right, there's a little pin button.
Yeah. Okay.
So I suppose there's no reason you couldn't start with hide, and there's no reason, especially since your character background is from an Arctic region. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
I just like I'm not gonna take hide if it's 45 pounds. Is basically what I'd be better off getting something else than just buying like a fur coat.
But the fur coat weighs 30 pounds.
Right.
Right, but that's why I could get like better armor and then just get a fur coat.
If you're strong enough to do that, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the best bang for your buck. Like, so I don't think I'll start with this sort of stuff, but I think a chain chest seems to be a good bang for your buck AC type thing, or maybe even a plate chest. And then just wear warmth gear and not really worry about armoring your limbs kind of thing, depending on how much weight you can handle.
Right. Oh, let's convert your currency to copper.
So if I've got like a plate chest, chain limbs, can I not wear warmth gear on my arms and my chest?
You can, right? You just have to add the weight together.
Yes.
Okay, that's all right.
Also, why
So
is
at
hide
baseline,
more
you-
expensive than leather?
Because you're
Ignore the costs listed in the Frozen Frontier cold and gear for armor.
Those match up. Well, those are from books, from rules
Right.
written.
Right.
Okay.
So
Actually, no. Hold on. I think I matched those up with your economic spreadsheet. So double check. In the
It's not.
economics.
There is no hide under economics.
Right.
Oh, okay. So those that then that would be from-
It'd be if it's like a poor man's leather, then it should be roughly the same cost, if not less. And it's currently 3.5 times
Why would
the
it be a
cost of
poor man's?
leather.
I mean, I think unless why would it be a poor man's leather?
Because it's heavier and offers the same protection.
Since when is like bear hide cheap and easy to come by? Or are you thinking like untanned buffalo or something, Neal? Like what are you imagining hide armor as?
I haven't imagined hide armor. It's not on the list. I
But it's
suppose-
also like leather is also animal hide essentially.
yeah, but it's like cow leather.
Right.
It's not like nice and light and thin. I think hide armor was probably going to have to be like big heavy bear furs or something, right?
Yeah.
That's what I have in my mind when I imagine someone with hide armor. They've got this like big furry thing hanging off of them.
So how are we doing the buying of gear? Are we doing that now? Like what's happening?
Yeah. I would like to buy gear now. So the party starts with 35,000 copper that they can spend on things. I was going to go through and ask you guys to buy the materials that you think you would own personally. That would be
Like
something
before
that
the
you
expedition.
right, that you are going to take with you on the expedition that you own independently of the party. And that might be I mean, this is mostly a cosmetic thing. This would be like, this is my personal sword. This is my history with this piece of item. This is something I absolutely want for sure, so I want to make sure that I am going to have this and I don't have to like argue with the person who we're going on this expedition as to whether or not I need this. Because Nick, as the party leader, is going to be in charge of the party funds, and so any like requisitioning of gear goes through him, and he gets to be the ledgerman.
Right. So I was looking at it, and what I think I'm gonna take, like I almost certainly want my weapons and my armor, and that'd probably be it. Like I have the clothes on my back and the tools that I use, and that's about it as far as like my personal belongings go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not imagining my character's going to have a lot of personal gear either. I don't want to get too into like backstory stuff, but I'm imagining I'm mostly going to be outfitted by the party.
That's fine.
Like,
I
so
kind of
I will
expect
take-
most
I will
people
take-
to be outfitted by the party.
Yeah, I'll probably be taking ownership of the climbing gear, but I don't think I own that personally.
Right.
I
So-
personally would like to own a small mirror.
That's probably needed for you. Yeah. So why don't we just go through and you guys make up the lists of the things that you want to have for your own personal gear, and we'll see if the party can afford it and how much you guys have left over at the end. So make your lists and see how much it costs.
Okay. So longbows are still 75.
I don't know.
Wait, could I have just made my own bow since I have that proficiency?
At half price or something?
Yeah, I can give it to you at half price. Longbow is 6,000 copper, so half price is going to be 3,000 copper.
3,000, so 30 gold.
Yeah.
110.
So are the spell components in copper as well?
Maybe not. I don't know. No, the spell components are in GP. Yeah, there were just too many for me to do by hand to change them all, and I'm too stupid to figure out how to automate them all. Yeah, there's 383 spell components. It's a bitch.
So
how much?
can we set aside some amount of gold for spell components? Because we don't know what spell components I need yet.
So, but what does hide armor cost, and how much does it weigh, so that I know if I'm going to take it here really fast?
By
So I
the
have
book,
55
it's
left over.
35 GP. But Neal, I don't know. Neal had thoughts. Whoa.
You've reduced the cost of armors, though, right, Neil?
I've changed them. They're not all reduced. I think the cost of plate went down, the cost of chain went up, the cost of leather went down, the cost of padded went up.
Okay, so if we're going to keep it at 35 gold and 30 pounds in weight, I can get hide armor and have 20 gold left over to put into the pool.
What happened? Did my cam freeze?
Yeah, your cam did
Yep.
freeze.
That's weird. I think I might need to cycle it, but that'll probably throw everything out of whack on it.
That's fine. We can just recycle everyone back in the right position if you want to cycle your cam. Okay, so then can we get Sean and Nick to cycle their
Hold
cams
on,
in that order?
I don't think I'm back.
Oh.
Not yet.
Something funky. Yeah, I don't know.
You want to leave the call and come back in?
I might want to try doing... Oh, I'm back.
Oh,
There we go,
yeah, you're back. Okay.
There we go.
So they can all go off and come on in the order of Greg, Ryan, Sean, Nick. Perfect.
There we go.
Okay. So, hide... 30 pounds seems a little light to me. I want hide armor to be nice and heavy.
So
No.
we're just talking chest, legs, arms here, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, chest, legs, arms, and then the way I had it envisioned, boots are separate from your armor. But maybe if you got plate armor,
And you can wear clothing over your...
or under. Like you can take.
Right, so
I
I could get a fur coat and wear it over hide, couldn't I?
Yes. So the neck, the way it's currently set up, neck slot is separate. So you could wear you would wear a cloak on top of your armor. So you could have So full cold gear would be 30 pounds assuming the weights that I had in mind, you'd have 30 pounds of hide armor plus a 30-pound fur cloak. Like no one's gonna do that because it's too much weight, unless we don't mind being encumbered or something.
I mean, that might happen.
So do you see why making hide armor heavier would be a problem then? Like, so if you make hide armor heavier, I mean, we're already at the point where max cold gear is probably not practical from a weight standpoint.
Right.
Yeah. And hide armor being heavier would make it pretty much unusable.
Right.
Like, if it were heavier, I just probably wouldn't want to take it. And already, like, it's basically the option that gets me some AC and some warmth without having to buy those two things separately. But if its weight or cost goes up, it's just not going to be worth taking anymore.
Anyone else have thoughts to weigh in on this?
Weigh in on this.
I don't really. Sadly, I am thoughtless.
I'm struggling to follow the problem.
I mean,
So,
Neal,
we're-
as it stands, full warmth gear is like 65 pounds of furs. I don't think anyone is ever going to have that much. I mean, maybe, but I don't.
That includes hide armor plus a heavy cloak
Hide-
plus fur boots and a fur cap.
Yeah. Fur cap is included in the hide armor,
Okay.
I think. Typically, helmets are included with the.
I suppose helmets are a weird thing. We often don't.
How many pounds of furs do you expect someone to be wearing?
I don't even know.
I can't. 65 pounds is a pretty. That's like plate mail.
All right.
That's incredibly heavy.
That's like a fully. Yeah. It's like a
Okay,
fully
so
loaded
you can keep
military
your
backpack,
hide
right?
armor at 30. What is it? 30 pounds.
Yes.
Double the weight of leather. The cost is probably significantly more than leather because it's like a fur.
Currently, it's 3.5 times the cost of leather if we're going by the book rules, which is quite a bit.
By
at
the book rule.
35.
Yeah.
By the book is 35 for.
Yes, which is 3.5 times what you have leather costing at.
Yeah, 35 GP and 30 pounds is what it is. By the book.
Yeah.
And you said double the weight of leather? Oh yeah, so 30.
30. I think I can swing that.
What is
So
What do you currently have plate weighing? Okay, 57 pounds.
so
57.
Chain is 40. So I mean, hideaway is almost as much as chain, and you want it to weigh more. I mean, I guess this argument. I mean, I think we are going with by the book, right? Is what we settled on. But
Yeah.
I think that seems totally reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy as it is.
Yeah. So 35 pounds
And 30 gold, got it.
and 30
Or
gold.
30 pounds and 35 gold. So I have 20 gold I can put into the pool.
Okay.
So Ryan, as the creator of this system for the gear,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm wearing, say, plate chest and chain limbs, what?
So your
what
baseline will be to just take clothes underneath that and have like 5 warmth points or whatever, and then depending on how much weight you can spare.
Well, let's say I can spare some more weight.
Oh yeah, you can. I think the optimal warmth what you would wind up wearing furs on top of plate, which would be obscene weight. But
That just seems a little bit like I can imagine a heavy cloak and like a hat,
So
bare boots.
Mm-hmm. So I
Wearing
think
hide
you can
armor
probably
under plate armor seems a bit.
I mean, I think so. You can include like 1 warmth from the plate or whatever, assuming that because there's clothes underneath it or something like that.
Okay.
And then
That
if you
sounds-
want, and then I don't know if we'll start with these, but fur coats I think would eventually be the way to do things, which is basically like a freebie neck slot. And then like, I don't know. good
But wouldn't the
winter
fur coat
boots.
provide some chest and leg warmth as well?
Not how we've got it set up. I mean, it's not perfectly realistic, but we're playing
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Is it reasonable for somebody to wear furs under plate mail?
Or
Over
no,
plate
I don't
mail.
think it's reasonable to go adventuring into the tundra with plate mail.
Yeah.
I mean, but we're adventurers. We don't need to be totally reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say wearing furs over it, what is that on the gear list? Hide armor.
I think you would basically buy. I mean, if you really want to go that route, you would have hide armor on top of your plate, or you could do something like you buy yourself a breastplate and then you wear hide armor everywhere else.
No, I want chainmail.
Oh,
What do you-
chainmail.
What I want chainmail limbs and plate chest. What do you see, Neal, as like an armored fighter wearing in this?
I mean, you're probably not going to start with amazing gear. Like that's just old D&D. You don't. You work up to getting like plate armor. You usually
Sure, but
start
none of this costs
So-
that much.
Plate mail. What a breastplate is 350 gold. That would be all of our. Well, you can't.
Yeah,
have a
you can't
breastplate.
afford a
Basically.
chainmail breastplate.
350. Okay, sorry, I was thinking
Yeah.
it was 35. I was like, that's gone
No,
down
no,
a
No,
lot.
no.
Okay, changes things.
So that's something you will probably work up to. I would expect you guys to have leathers or hides mostly. If you wanted to have chain, that's reasonable, but I've figured for warmth, you guys might want to start with something a little bit,
Mhm.
you know,
I mean, wouldn't
more leathery.
because like the way it worked padding wise was you wore a gambeson underneath armor, right? Like
Yeah.
gambeson was usually enough for most people, but like the warmth, like the padding people think about is a gambeson. Like you just put armor over a gambeson.
So is a gambeson just a chest piece, Neal,
In this system,
or like covers your thighs or something? And
In
maybe
this system,
your
Gambeson's just going to be a chest piece, I believe. Yeah.
Mhm.
It'll probably have a bit of sleeve to it, maybe, and maybe it's a little long, so it's like a skirted chest piece. But it's like a big ass quilted thing that you
Mhm.
wear.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean, does it give? What I was getting with gambeson was, does it give warmth points? And if it does, could he just wear a gambeson underneath his?
Yeah, so
like,
I didn't
chain?
realize we were doing I didn't know what a gambeson, or that we had changed the armor system when I was doing this. So I had set it as padded armor, being the same as leather for warmth.
Yeah, but padded armor and Gambesson
but-
are identical. So,
But
same
in
thing.
this case, gambeson is just going to be the chest coverage, right?
right, it's not going to cover you head
Okay.
to toe.
Okay.
So you would get 8 warmth points if you just did a gambeson.
No.
No.
Because that's assuming that it's covering multiple slots. So I'll delete that 8 warmth from padded armor. Like I ignore that padded armor.
Okay.
I could add a Gambison. So a Gambison would presumably just be 2 warmth points, and it's just a chest slot.
It should be more than a tunic, though, right? Maybe a tunic should just be
tunic
one slot?
shouldn't be two. Tunic should probably just be one. Right?
Okay.
It also have
Tunic should just be
limbs,
cloth.
like
Yeah,
it have arms. Is that like measured
I
differently?
think a
Or is it all
Gambison
torso?
wouldn't have limbs. It would probably just be chest and maybe like partial limb here and maybe like down to your mid thigh. But I don't think you would have like padded pants that you put on. Would you?
I don't think so. No, I mean I think it goes down mid thigh, but I think
Yeah.
for purposes of like warmth and gear slots, we're going to consider it just a chest piece. So do you want me to add in like I'll add in a Gambison between?
Yeah. So I guess a Gambison could have full sleeves if you wanted, but it does come down to mid thigh. You don't have Gambison pants.
So if I wear a Gambison under my chainmail armor, that'll give me 2 warmth points, right? Okay.
I don't know if Gambison is. I would call maybe leather jacket is the item to buy.
Okay.
I don't know how that compares with weight to a Gambison. Leather jacket I have listed as 8 pounds. And a lot of this is more meant to be a guideline, right? I mean, like, we don't
Right.
need to buy equipment from my Frozen Frontier gear list, right? I think we buy. These are all gear from PHB / probably also in Neal's gear list, and I just assigned warmth points: 1 for clothes, 2 for leather or padded, and 3 for hides. So I think you can basically just decide more or less what your character is wearing, and you can, if you're expecting those things to be expensive, as in the case of like a leather jacket, which looks like it costs 30 gold. You only have it weighing as 2 pounds. I think rules as written had it as 8.
Padded.
Padded
leather
is not
jacket.
a Gambison by the book, though. Padded is some weird shit that they came up with
I
in
have-
the book.
I have Gambison weighing 8 pounds.
Yeah. I'm saying I was comparing it to a leather jacket,
Oh, okay.
which I was considering the same warmth.
Mhm.
So I think I more or less have. I'm considering most of my gear will have been supplied for me, so I kind of want to get permission to buy these sorts of things. As in, like, are we gonna have money so that I can have a crossbow? I'm guessing I'll probably like Gambison seems reasonable.
Sure.
Does Party / Nick and Neal particularly maybe want to weigh in on what we can justify, or how much gold I can justify spending on personal stuff?
Crossbows, 3,500 copper. It seems reasonable that you could buy a
35 gold, yeah.
Yeah. But I have no problem.
I mean,
with
should
you
we maybe
getting
set a
padded.
gold limit on everyone?
Maybe we should have just let everyone
Okay.
roll for wealth independently of each other. Maybe this was a messed up system.
I
Maybe
mean,
this is.
I liked this in theory, but this
I like
seems
the idea of
just
anything
put
we have
the
left over
roadblock in.
going into a pool.
I think the way to do it is for me to do mine first. Work out
Yeah.
how much gold I've got left, how much is left from the party after I've spent what I've
Yeah,
spent.
Yeah,
Right?
I can go with
Okay.
that, and then maybe like Sean or Greg have something to stand on in terms of
but
earmarking funds.
I mean, isn't that the idea of people rolling their wealth independently, though? Is that like you start with gear? You don't necessarily we don't need to buy all of our weapons up front, do we? Because we probably own some of that stuff to begin with. Like,
That's
it
what
doesn't
the
really make
starting
sense for me to be
funds are for.
buying my weapons from a
No,
party
you
pool.
buy your weapons with your starting gold. That's
Right.
how.
That's what I mean, though. Like,
Okay.
I probably own that independently of the expedition. Like, my character owned a longbow before this expedition ever existed.
Mhm.
I think
Okay,
the way
so
to do
we-
it is one at a time, though, because we're getting
Yeah.
kind of.
So I'm gonna defer. I'm gonna hold off buying things until
All
I
right.
see.
So,
how much money's
what
left at the
Nick
end.
buy your stuff, and then we'll just
Right,
go
okay.
down the line, and everyone will buy their things. And if there's money problems at the end, we can figure it out.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'm going to talk through it, right? Sword, 15 gold.
Okay.
Yeah. Shield, 10 gold.
Okay.
Harpoon, 1 gold. 5 javelins, 5 gold. Right?
Okay.
So 31 gold on weapons. Alright, now I need armor. So what I was thinking, this might be untenable, would be a full suit of chainmail, a leather jacket, a heavy cloak, and leather boots.
How much would that cost?
That would cost 80 4 gold. So that would be I'd be on 115 then.
That
Which is only
seems
slightly
fair.
over what your personal roll was, anyways.
So help me tot up the warmth though. I've got 1 in each
So
slot. because
sorry,
of
say again
clothes.
what you're wearing.
So full chainmail armor that counts
So
as
sorry. Okay.
yeah.
That
That's one in each
that counts
slot.
as clothes at a base, unless you have
Yeah, so that's
unless you
6, is
want
it? Right, because it's
No, it's 5, right?
5. Okay. And then a leather jacket would be upgrading the chest to 2, so that would put
Yeah.
it up to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
heavy cloak would upgrade the neck to 2.
Do we want to consider a heavy cloak more than? Yeah. So I
we
think there
wanna-
should be a cloak that. What, Neil?
I was going to say, do we want a cloak to be a neck piece? It seems more like a body piece than a neck piece.
I think it's because it hangs from the neck.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that it hangs from your neck, but it's not
My
providing...
idea is you can wear it. You can wear it over. You can wear it over your armor.
Hmm.
You probably can't wear a cloak and a scarf at the same time. I mean, it's not a perfect system. It's like it's inspired by like a JRPG or something where you've
Yeah.
got your little character sheet and you got the 5 slots and you just they don't always make sense. You're
That's fair. Okay.
Mhm.
kind of quaint.
All right.
So
Keep going.
does cloak come? Does the armor have a neck slot, or is the neck slot the one that's empty?
The next slot is the one that's empty,
Okay.
and so is the foot slot.
Okay.
So you need to pick some.
So armor is only 4 slots, right?
Armor is 4 slots. Yeah. Torso, arms, legs, and helmet.
Okay.
That's. So are you wearing like a chain helmet thing?
No, I'm gonna just add in like what I don't know, like a cap. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like a chainmail helmet thing with some
Okay, so
clothing underneath there.
So that would probably have 1, right?
Okay, so that's 1 in 5 slots, right? So I'm 5 total, but then I'm adding a
So,
leather
yeah.
jacket.
Yeah.
I'm adding a heavy cloak on. So the leather jacket's +1, the heavy cloak's +2, and the leather boot +2,
Heavy cloaks will be plus. Oh yeah, plus 2.
and the leather boots will be +2 as well, because there's no
Yes.
foot slot in the armor. So
Yes.
I think
So you're looking at you've got all slots filled. Your
got-
baseline is the cloth that is underneath your chain, and
Yeah.
then you've got 2 warmth items on your neck, and
And on
on
my
your feet, and
And,
on your chest.
chest I've got a +1. Yeah, so I've got
So
10
you're
more.
looking at 5 plus. You're at 8.
Okay, so you're spending 115
No.
gold.
Hang on. Would it not be 9, right?
You got
4 base. 2 for the
Don't think
cloak.
that. So you got 1 from your head, you got 2 from your neck, you got 2 from your torso, you got 1 from your legs. Sorry, 2 from your legs. You got 1 from your hands, and you got
2 for my feet.
1 from your feet. I got the feet and the legs backwards, so that's 9. There's 5 slots.
9.
You got
Okay,
5
yeah.
slots, and you got 3 of them are giving you 1 extra.
All right, Neil, you need a character sheet with like a little.
Or we can just keep our own spreadsheet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I haven't
So I
totally
think I'm
sorted out the
spending-
best way to.
Let me just get a calculator.
How much are you?
I'll add it all. I'll add it up in copper.
Mhm.
Um,
So 11,480.
okay. So who wants to go next for buying gear?
I'll go ahead
Sean?
and go because I know exactly what I'm spending.
All right, what are you buying?
So I rolled 11,000 for mine, and I'm spending 9,000 of it exactly. And I bought 4 things. I bought hide armor, which gives 12 warmth, so I know that pretty much right off the bat. And then I've got a longbow, a saber, and a khopesh.
Okay.
That's
And you bought the
9,000.
bow for half, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we just say that I made the arrows without charge, or do you want me to drop another amount for them?
Arrowheads. You can buy. You can make the arrows, but you should buy the arrowheads.
How much are arrowheads?
It's in the weapons list area. No, it's not. It just shows how many you can make in a day. It doesn't show the cost of the arrowhead. Oh dear God.
And they got to be pretty cheap.
Yeah. thought I had a cost for arrowheads somewhere.
Do you want to just hand wave it for now? Because it'd be 3 gold because I was taking 20 arrows for now.
Right.
So normally it'd be 3 gold. Do you want to just hand wave it and say that we spent 1 since I made them myself and I just bought the heads?
Sure. Just go ahead and start.
Okay,
Make
so
sure you also
there's-
buy like a quiver and all the gear that you would need for all these things.
Oh, okay. So wait, do I have to buy scabbards and stuff too?
No, swords come with scabbards, but arrows need
Okay.
quivers.
How much is a quiver? Fast gear,
2,000
quiver.
copper weighs a pound.
5 pounds.
2,000 copper. So
2,000 copper. So
200
gold
copper.
for-
200 copper.
200. Okay.
okay, which is 2 gold, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the sling?
So that means that I have 17 gold, so 1,700 copper that goes back into the pool because that's how much I have left over.
Okay. So how much did you spend total?
With the arrows and with the quiver, I don't need anything else, right? I have like, I don't need to buy like strings or anything.
No. You might. I can't imagine.
Strings costing anything that's not negligible.
Right, but it might be nice to, like, if there's some situation comes up where you lose your bow and you guys are out in the wilderness and maybe you can craft a bow, but you would need a string. I don't know how you want to figure out making bow strings.
Couldn't they just bring some strings with them on the expedition? Like, it can't be that expensive to have strings. Wouldn't the cost more or less be negligible?
Probably.
They might just have some in the fort.
Yeah, but that'll be something that we'll want to keep track of eventually, so don't have any
sure.
for now.
Like, if I make a bow in the wild, I could understand not having a string. But if we're back in the fort, I imagine they'd probably just be able to find something that we could use.
We'll figure it out later. How
Greg,
much did
you're
you
muted.
spend?
I'm not muted. I'm specifically not talking out loud.
Okay. I thought you were saying something, and I was like, So, okay. Then I think I have everything I need because I have the quiver.
So how much did you spend total?
With the arrows and the quiver, that brings it up to 9,300 copper. So I have 1,700 left over that goes into the pool.
Okay. 9,300 exactly?
Yes.
Okay, and how many warmth points do you start off with?
12 plus whatever my stats give.
Okay. Ryan or Greg, who wants
What
to go
armor
next?
you're wearing hides?
Hide armor.
Okay.
Full hide
You
armor.
could also throw a cloak on that for 1 or 2 more points, depending on how heavy of a cloak you want.
Yeah, that would add another 10 pounds though, and then,
And
I'd
then
be
that's
encumbered.
not including boots, right?
Or actually, I would not be encumbered with that.
Nick, you have 18 AC?
Actually, hold on. 12.
Sorry, Neil, 19
19?
HP.
No,
Yeah.
AC.
How much is a cloak?
OAC.
You have change and shield specialization and no dex, right?
1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Neil, I
so
lied.
18. Yeah?
I spent 94.50, so I put 15. For fuck's sake.
That's fine. I'm doing the math on this end. I just need to know how
Okay.
much you spend.
1,550 copper.
1,000
because I get a heavy cloak.
9,550?
It was 9,300, so 94.50 is what I spent
9450.
total.
Okay. Cool. And you have 9450. You have 12 warmth points.
Now I'm at 14 because I just
14
got a
warmth
heavy
points.
cloak.
And what's your total AC?
Total AC. That's good. What's high do? Is it 3?
3.
3.
So 3 plus, I believe, 2 from my... No, plus 3, so 16 AC.
Okay. Greg or Ryan, who wants to go next?
I'll go last.
Okay, Greg.
Okay. For personal equipment, I would like a small mirror for 1,000, and a sling for 10. And that's all. I mean, I'd like some money set aside for spell components.
Mhm.
Sure.
But
I think we
don't
probably
know
also
how
want that
much
for, like-
we want to
So why
set-
don't do you want to earmark what you think a GP value of personal wealth for that sort of thing is, and then
I
sort that
don't
out
know. Like,
later?
it could depend. Like, some of these, I'm looking at the economics of the spell components. Some of them are really
Mm-hmm.
cheap. I might be able to get away with a couple of gold or like maybe 5. Some of them are like real expensive, and we might want to put 50 gold into them. It'll depend on what I get.
Yeah.
Bear in mind,
I think
we also need survival tools, like
Yeah.
flint and steel and stuff
But
like that.
as far as personal belongings go, a mirror and and some spell components and a sling, and then I would be on the expedition to warmth me.
fantastic. What is your default warmth then? It was just all clothes?
I mean, do you want me to buy a bunch of warm stuff?
No.
I
if you want to stay warm.
personal
I mean, well,
belongings. I don't own warm weather clothes.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. And you have
So-
10 AC then?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So what are you wearing? Are you wearing like a clothes?
I think we will buy him gear.
We're doing
Yeah.
personal belongings, right?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
character does not own a fur coat and a
Yeah.
big ass hat and like super warm long johns. I would need
Actually,
an
yeah, that's
expedition to give me that.
Perfect. We can buy you that stuff in a bit then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you've spent 1,010 copper.
1,010 copper, and then like I don't know, set some aside for
Sure.
my.
We still have 13,000 copper left, and Ryan has to buy his gear, so I think we're going to be okay. Ryan?
Maybe, and we'll see how much equipment.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, I haven't tallied all this up, and I haven't figured all my warmth stuff, but I'm hoping for a light crossbow, quarrels, daggers. So let me start adding up. So a light crossbow would be 3,500 copper, plus quarrels and a quiver is another 400. I'll start adding this actually. 2 daggers would be 400. 3 throwing daggers is 300, and a gambeson is 500. That puts me at 5,100 copper.
We still have 7960 left over.
960. So that's probably what I'll do. Let me figure out exactly how much my clothes are going to cost.
Okay.
So leather boots I've got listed as 300. And then I'll have, let's see. I guess I don't have a leather pants listed, unless that was just like leather armor. What does leather armor cost in your system, Neal?
1,000, I think.
Armor partial. Leather full is
1,000 copper.
1,000.
Mhm.
That
Okay,
doesn't-
so I'll actually do that.
You're gonna get leather.
I think
instead of a
I think
gambeson?
I'll do gambeson plus leather limbs for a flavor standpoint, but I think that's actually the same as leather. Right?
Yeah, same AC as leather.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't Greg just sell his starting spellbook for 5,000 GP, and then we'll be good to go?
Because I don't have a spell book. I never had one.
Mm-hmm.
Leather limbs weighs 6 pounds. It's 500. Leather boots are going to cost 300, and a coat costs, gosh, it's your freaking copper. A cloak costs 1.5 gold, which is 150 copper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think that's all that I'll need to buy for now, although I will have gear that I want from for the company.
So how much did you spend total?
Let me just add those last 2 things. It's another 500 plus another 300 plus another 150. I think we're looking at 6,050 copper.
Oh shit, that's 10 pounds. I might be over. No, I'm okay.
Don't forget, we've got to carry firewood.
Oh,
Rations.
yeah.
I think
That's what I'm saying. We probably need like a sled and something to pull it.
I think eventually you guys will upgrade to a dog sled, but
Yeah.
you probably won't start off there. You guys will
Probably-
eventually probably have, like a flying fortress that you cruise around in or some bullshit, but we're starting off our early levels, so you should be fairly novice to this environment and, slightly underprepared.
And we're saying we're able to cut down a tree for firewood, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, not chop the tree down, but break branches off and find dead
Mhm.
branches on the ground.
So
Yeah,
how
it's
are
only
we
if we
doing
venture out to
for
the forest.
Right. 7,010 copper
money?
remaining.
So that's 70 gold?
'Cause there is
70 gold
there is
and a
some stuff
silver.
we need to buy.
Yeah, I'm going to want to buy rope and climbing gear and stuff. So let
Yeah,
me start
we need to
counting
buy a
that.
tent, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right, so then
1,200 for a large tent.
for the party funds, you guys should decide what you need together. We can do that right now, and then we can just pull it from the party funds, and then we can distribute the gear amongst you guys. We can figure out who's going to be carrying what ahead of time, and then kind of ignore it on the character sheets during the prequel.
Okay.
Or we can, figure out who's going to carry what when the day comes, when episode 1 starts.
Okay. I would say we need a grappling hook and like 100 feet of rope as a first thought. If we ever need to climb over anything, that would be like the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, we
I'm
definitely
gonna.
need.
Yeah.
Well,
let me-
steel.
Give me just a second, and I'm gonna tally up all the climbing gear that I would want.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you're thinking about that, has anyone thought of character names?
Yes.
Yes.
Greg?
Let me think.
Nick, what's your name?
William Marshall.
Okay. Sean, what's your name?
I'm thinking Ferris.
All right. And Ryan, what's your name?
You can call me Grimes.
Grimes.
Good name. I like it a lot.
No
With an
pressure,
S,
Greg. You're
you know,
the
I
only
don't know if
one
you
who's
got-
left.
Oh.
I know. I want a foreign name, but I don't necessarily need it to be like crazy and weird. Maybe I just pick a standard like nationality that's different from us. Maybe I just become like Yaromir.
Yaromir?
Shayatan.
How do you spell Yaromir?
Ah! You shall call me Dark One. Yaromir. Let's go with that. Fuck it.
Okay. How do you spell it?
Yaromir is spelled Jaromir.
J-A-R-M... Or, sorry, Jaromir?
Yes.
Jaromir.
Yaromir.
Yaromir. Okay. Perfect.
That puts me firmly in Eastern Bloc. I guess I know what accent I'm going with.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Do you mind if I use this?
Go for it.
Okay, I'm drying out fans.
Oh my god, she sounds so American.
I'll tell you some of that.
More American than the rest of us?
I don't know. Like, I guess I'm used to you guys, but she sounds just like an American on a film. Like a
We are from
California.
California.
Yeah, there you
so
go. Yeah.
There's that. Yeah, I don't. We'll see, but my character may wind up having a horribly distasteful British accent.
Oh,
That's I was
beautiful.
thinking too. I was thinking.
Oh,
maybe
Hey,
yeah.
I'm doing a British accent as well.
Here's the thing.
No, like a real one, not like a posh one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
probably wind up being sounding more Australian, just because I think that's the direction it'll all. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking like
Sounds-
I don't know if anyone's played The Witcher 2, but like Yorvith in that game.
That'd be
That's
a
my
good
hope for
accent.
the voice.
Yeah, I like that accent.
Okay. So, Grimes, do you know how many warmth points you have yet?
Let me calculate that for you real quick. So I am leather head to. I think I've got 10 plus stats. Are you keeping track of all this?
I'm just
Or
making
you-
some notes for myself.
I'll double
ahead of
check
time.
at the end, but I think I haven't averaged my stats yet.
Oh yeah. Is it Will and Con over 2?
So average of will and con plus your level. So for me, so I've got 10 from gear, my con and it's 14, so 23 divided by 2, so 11 from stats plus 2 for level is 13. Sorry for mathing out loud. I think I've got 23 warmth points.
Okay.
I just did my math. I'm at 29.
You're at 29.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I had you as 14 warmth points before. Is your average
From gear,
con and
my
will?
average 13, and then 2 from level.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. 29. And William Marshall?
I think I've got 9 from gear and 12 from stats, so 21.
Okay. And then 1 from level. 2 from level?
Oh, 2 from level. Yeah, 23.
So, and then Yaromir. You don't have
Well,
winter
currently,
clothing yet.
I'm-
Yeah.
I'm at
We'll probably add
half
that.
of 23, which is either 11 or 12. I don't know which way we're rounding.
Down.
Okay, so 11 plus 2 from level is 13. I have 13 warmth until the
Plus
expedition.
clothes will probably wind up being at a minimum of 3 to whatever. Do you not have shoes or something like boots?
I don't
What do you
have. I didn't buy any warm clothes.
wear?
We told you guys, he's a guy on the side of the road. He's just a beggar.
wandering in naked and tattooed.
Clearly,
You don't
I'm
need
in the
clothes
last
when
one,
you've got
right? I'm
tattoos.
wearing like some normal tan robe or some shit. But like, it's not warmth based because I haven't been like I haven't been provisioned by the expedition yet.
Yet.
So, what else do we have to do?
I'm mapping out gear that I want to buy.
How much do we want to save for spell components?
Oh yeah.
Well, I figure Greg and I will
Also-
probably need to go over spells after this stream is over, after we're done with character creation, and then we can figure out what he needs for spell components.
So we're doing like full on spell components, not just for price based for spells like we did in Hardcore Heroes.
Right. We're gonna actually figure out individual components, and
Okay.
Nice.
if Greg's up to the task of tracking components and that sort of
Yeah,
thing,
no, I'm into it.
cool.
I make my players track spell components, so fair's
Rope
fair.
is expensive.
Yeah, spell components can add up quick.
That's a rope, but yeah, spell components too.
Oh, I wasn't listening clearly. My bad.
So how much money do we have to spare?
Yeah.
Right now, the party has 7,010 copper pieces left over.
Okay, we definitely need a large tent, right?
Yeah, what does that cost?
1,200.
We need
Okay.
flint and steel to start fires.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
probably
write all-
negligible in cost.
I'll write this all down because we'll
Okay.
just assume that I'm carrying it all. And then we'll
So you're
just do anything
getting
else. So.
large tent, flint
Is that
and
enough for
steel.
all four of us?
Yeah,
Large tent, yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Large tent, flint and steel. So there's talk about rope.
Yeah, I'll probably be carrying at least some rope.
I need some
Can you
rope.
explain the difference between the ropes, Neal? So you've got silk, you've got thick, you've got thin.
Right.
The
So
different costs. Is it just cost per weight, or is one stronger than the other?
thick rope is 3 strands of thin rope braided together. So it's going to have at least 3 times the carrying capacity or the strength.
And what
I
about
want you to
silk?
consider silk rope is going to probably be the strength of thick rope, but at a much lesser weight. I think silk rope is just like the optimal rope in all situations, but it's super fucking expensive.
Okay.
So
How
if you can
strong
afford
is,
it, go for
is thin rope?
I don't have any metrics on it, but I would say
I'd say
like
for
if,
a harpoon. If you were hunting I don't know, a giant, would the thin rope break before you pull the giant over or not?
no. So let's consider it. If you're dangling a person off of a cliff, a thin rope should be able to hold one person, one person's full weight, but it probably wouldn't be able to hold 3 people's full weight. 2 is where it gets kind of gray, and we'd have to probably just make some sort of like saving throw to see if it holds that weight or not.
So we definitely need thick rope for climbing as a party, but thin rope will be enough for you to climb on your own.
Right, or silk rope for climbing as a party, unless you are expecting... Like, if everyone's on one rope and one person falls off, that the rope will hold that weight for certain. If 2 people fall off, well, then you're getting into some weird territory, and you're going to want some silk things. So the rope you want for climbing is dependent on how much of a risk you want to take.
Can someone? So what's the deal with crampons? Are we all gonna want those? Should I have a pair?
What?
There's the
Those
climbing
are
shoes.
like metal, yeah, like climbing shoes, like metal, whatever attachments for your boots, so you can climb on ice.
I feel like a lot of this stuff we're gonna have to get later on. Like it's stuff that we're gonna have to order in and have shipped to us.
Maybe.
Or I'm just buying it or buy it right now. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you can have it. You can have it now. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
my
So
concern.
that's something that so the rest of it. So a lot of this will be useful for the party, but that's for like one person. But I guess so I'll start.
Yeah,
with
but
that.
I still think it makes sense that we buy it for you as the party
Yeah.
rather than...
Yeah, I'm not sure how much climbing we'll be doing in the early sections because it's mostly forest early on, right? Like
Yeah,
fairly
I won't
flat
be
forest.
climbing. How much does flint and steel cost and weigh? Is it in the thing? Sorry, Neil.
I'll check really fast.
You can just look it in the gear list.
Yeah, I'll just look. Yeah, sorry.
It's not in the gear list, is it?
Ha!
I was
Screw
right.
you, Neil.
never have apologized.
God, flint and steel seems like it'd be super cheap.
Yeah,
Like
I think
what?
so, right?
10 copper at most? And then
Anyways,
it
let's
probably
check the
weighs
book
like
really
a tenth
fast.
of a pound.
Let me check the book.
Oh, you know what it is?
I think
There's
it's
a
in
tinder
copper.
box. That's what you want to find in there.
Tinderbox.
You want to find a tinder box that has
50
tinder, flint,
copper.
and steel in like a greased wooden box so that nothing's going to get wet.
Okay. 50 copper.
And it weighs a pound. Yeah,
Alright.
it's a little wooden box that's all, you know.
I mean, should we have one of them each?
Either way, I probably should be the one carrying it if we only get one, since I have fire building as a proficiency.
I just feel like if somebody gets separated, they're going to need to be able to make a fire.
I mean, they only weigh a pound. They're pretty cheap.
Yes.
Neal, is the ice pick? Do I need an ice pick and a hammer, or is an ice pick considered the same tool?
As a hammer?
Like, does it have a hammer on the back for pounding in pittons, or is it just an ice pick?
Oh,
Do I have-
you
do I have
could
one of
get.
A combination?
Is there an ice pick in the list?
There is.
Then it should have a hammer on the back of it. It's fine.
Okay. Okay.
I don't see ice pick in the gear list.
It's under climbing, ice pick.
Ah, there we go.
Thick rope is. Can we afford? How much gold do we have left?
I don't know based on what Nick has done.
Yeah. So let's mark stuff off that we definitely need. The large tent, if you've taken that off.
Mm-hmm.
I say we get 4 flint and steel, so that's another 200. So how much have we got now?
How much was the tent?
1,200.
So 1,400 total.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just doing some Excel spreadsheet math. And how much does the large tent cost?
1,200.
Okay. And then this should be, equal minus B8. So you're at, with the large tent and the tinderbox, you still have 5610.
Okay. We probably shouldn't buy silk rope. It costs
Let's
2,000.
get
But I'll
your
thick rope.
climbing
So
stuff.
yeah, let me tell you the grand total of that. So
You can just get thin rope for you, right?
I'll get thick rope, I think, because this will probably be stuff that I would want to like. This I'm imagining this rope is like if we have to scale a glacier or something. This is like the rope that we will use to string the party together, so that if someone falls, we don't all die.
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
So I've got 10 pittons, 50 feet of thick rope, an ice pick, a climbing harness, and crampons. For a grand total of
10 pittons.
Oh, I've got for a grand total of
Okay.
1,500.
Okay.
And I'll keep track of this on my character sheet.
Okay, so
Plus,
Ryan,
I also want a backpack for 200.
Oh, we should all probably have back.
Yeah, we should all
You
get
know what might be
backpacks.
really useful, actually, is a shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
for
So
making shelters.
4 backpacks.
4 backpacks.
Okay, so can you
You can't give me a backpack. I can't carry it.
Okay, 3 backpacks.
3 backpacks.
so
It's
I
not
will
just
pro-
assumed that we've got a backpack, though. Otherwise, how else are we carrying everything?
Generally, I include backpack in the 5 pounds of clothes that you carry. Generally, that includes backpack, the clothes on you, your boots, your shoes, whatever, your day.
Yeah, so we don't have to pay. We don't have to pay for it then. Or?
No, we're outfitting everyone from scraps, so buy your backpacks.
Okay.
You can drop your normal clothes weight to 3 pounds and then add backpack weight and stuff.
Okay.
I'm keeping track of my clothes individually, by the way.
Oh, that's probably a better way to
Well,
do it, even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm assuming that like small clothes don't really matter, and that'll be included in the armor weight.
Okay. So right now, as for communal gear, we've got a large tent, 4 tinder boxes, all of Ryan's climbing gear, and 4 backpacks. 3 backpacks. And we need
And did
some.
we subtract that from what?
79.10, I think it was.
It was at 79.10. All right, I'll just.
All right. And we should probably have blankets.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that included in the tent, or like? No.
No. I mean, that'd be great if
What's-
like we could build
do
the
we need
tent and it just
bedrolls
came with
as
like
well
4
as-
made beds
Well,
and blankets.
It's just that we don't get any extra warmth for having the blanket, right?
I don't know. I think in the current system, it doesn't matter, right? Just having the tent is assumed to. I don't know. Like right now, aren't there different grades of tent, or is there not? Oh no, it's either with. It was tent plus
With
fire
fire,
plus. Let's see. There's-
How are we feeling on lantern and oil?
I think it'd be better than torches.
I think
mean,
so.
so-
Too.
Are we really going to be out in the dark?
It's
Who
possible.
knows?
Yeah, I think it's better to go prepared than not.
Yeah, prior planning prevents poor performance.
I like
Yep.
Okay.
It's a lot of peas. I don't trust it.
that. Lantern oil is 6 hours per bottle, I believe.
All right, lantern oil. How many? So we want a torch. I think torches are probably bad. We can just make torches when we're on the road, can't we?
Problem with torches is wind can blow them out. And they have to be specially made anyways, because you need like a specific wrap that's meant to keep it burning.
Okay. So
But,
a
like,
lantern then.
a lantern is much more stable.
All right. How much does a lantern cost?
700 gold up front, and then oil should be fairly cheap. Let me find it really fast.
700 copper, you mean?
So yeah, sorry, 700 copper.
Oil?
Oil lamp, 10 copper per bottle, weighs 1 pound per bottle. Each bottle will do 6 hours.
So should we just buy 10
Sure.
for now?
So 800 for the lantern and all the oil.
Yeah. How much did you say lantern oil weighs?
A
It's
pound
1
per bottle, so it'd be 10 for all those.
And the lantern itself?
Finding that right now. Lantern, hooded, 2 pounds.
£2. We just want one lantern, right?
Yeah, might as well.
Ryan, you're keeping track of the weight of your climbing gear.
Yes, I have all the climbing gear on my sheet. So if you've subtracted the money, then you can.
How much did all the climbing gear cost?
1,500, he said, right?
Yes.
How much do we have left over?
All right, so I'll read a total. So,
This spreadsheet gameplay.
I was relying on Neal to do it, but I think it's best I just keep track of it.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
Okay, so we had 7910 left after everyone bought their individual gear.
Mhm.
Got a large tent for 1200, 4 tinder boxes for 200 total. Ryan's climbing gear for 1500, 3 backpacks for 600, a lantern for 700, and 10 bottles of lantern oil for 100. So we've got 3,610 left.
My numbers are coming up with 2,710.
Where did that 500 come from?
Large tent is 12, tinderbox is 200, lantern oil is 800, climbing gear is 1,500, backpack is
That's
600.
I have us at 3610 left.
Yeah, the lantern oil is 100 and the lantern is 700.
So the
1400 plus, it was 1400 plus 1500 plus 600 from the backpacks, I believe, and then plus 800 from the lantern.
Yeah.
Would be 4300 off of our 7910. And then 7910 minus 4300 is
Should be-
3610.
I'm definitely doing it right now.
okay, I just have everything done in a spreadsheet,
36
and it's
now.
giving me a different answer.
Yep. All right. What else do we need then? Do we need to buy rations, or will we get rations when we get there?
I imagine rations are probably kept in the fort, right?
Yeah.
Your gear is
And we're-
4,300, and you had
4300 off of our 7910 remaining.
Yeah.
So we dropped 4300 from 7910 to get 3610.
Oh, you had 79. I had you at 7010. I didn't have 7910.
Maybe I wrote that down wrong then.
Yeah,
That's why I had
party funds were 7010.
Okay.
Okay.
Then,
There we go.
Minus 900. So now I got 2710.
2710, much better. Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right. So what else do we need?
If we can keep like 20 gold left over in the end for Greg's spell components, I think that'd be perfect.
We've got 27 gold right now.
Have we bought any clothes for Greg?
No.
Like winter clothes?
Greg
We
will
should
need
probably do that.
clothes and
Okay, let's
that
do
stuff.
that
So, Greg, let's buy you some clothes.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to be in super heavy clothes because I need to be able to spellcast, right?
Yeah.
Right, so nothing
Um,
too bulky.
When it says robe on the set, that's torso, arms, and legs, according to what your notes say. What does that mean
Yeah.
in terms of like, do I have to buy gloves
That-
and a cloak and a hat and boots on top of that?
So right now, arms and hands are the same thing. So you
Okay.
would buy boots, and potentially you could have a scarf or
like a
cloak
hat?
on top of.
So
that.
what if we did
The
just,
hat
like,
is included. I mean, the hat is included in the hood. Of the
Oh,
robe.
okay. So there's no head.
But you could get a leather cap or a fur cap to increase the warmth there. So I think you'll be fine with.
Like
Are
robe.
you wearing a robe? Or that's why I was asking what you're wearing. Are you wearing a robe or are you wearing clothes?
I mean, I feel like if I wear a whole bunch of clothes, it's not a good use of our money.
But
You
we
will get
need you.
more
I would
that
say we want to
expensive.
get you to at least 20 warmth.
Yeah, we don't want you to just die. So you
So-
need some warmth.
How much would we have to invest?
What is your
Yeah,
baseline, Greg?
What are you at right now?
My base warmth
your
is
stats?
13.
13,
Is that with the plus
not
2
including
level?
any gear?
Not including any gear, but
We can get you
including
to
level.
we can get you to 20, no problem. So do you want to wear robes or are you wearing regular cloth clothes? Like just from like a
Let's wear
Role
robe.
playing.
Let's go robe.
you're going with a robe?
Yep, like a big heavy robe.
Yeah, so I considered robes to cover
And then with a fur hat.
chest, legs, arms, and head for the thing. So that would get you 4 warmth points. Can you spare 3 pounds for leather
I can
boots?
spare 3 pounds. Yeah.
And
A hat doesn't have any weight listed for it, but it'd probably be pretty light.
the
It's
hat
3
is
warmth
included in
points.
the robe.
Yeah, he's
So-
got. He's got. So you need
So
something
leather
for his-
boots, and then what could get, and then like a scarf is the lightest way to give you
Mhm.
that,
An extra point.
unless you can afford like 10 pounds for a cloak.
I could do. I was initially putting a cloak in with my like weight, so I could do that.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
Or you
Okay.
could get rid of the cloak and give me a backpack.
No, you're all right. You don't need to carry anything.
Okay.
I mean, you could just. I mean, if you want the weight, you could just do a scarf. That's only 1 more. So you're looking at now
That's
6
fine, I'll
warmth
take the cloak.
points.
So
So you're-
robe, boots, and a cloak.
Heavy cloak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
robe, boots, heavy cloak. That will wind up costing it's like 1.5 gold plus 0.9 gold is 2.4
gold.
plus boots is 5.4 gold.
So 540.
Yeah, so subtract 540.
Yep. And that'll give you a
And then
total
you're-
of 8 warmth, right?
For
It'll give me
3, 4,
8 warmth.
sorry.
4, 2, and 2. Yeah,
So that brings
Oh,
you
you're
to
doing leather
21
boots?
total.
that'd put me at 21 warm total.
Okay,
Yeah.
that works.
All right. So that's another 540 gold. So now we've got 2,170 left. So if you need spell components to say 20 gold, we're more or less there.
Sure.
Yep.
I mean, that seems very reasonable.
I want to buy a silver pendant with a picture of my wife in it. How much does that cost?
Okay.
I mean, it might just be free. I've probably had it for a while.
Yeah, let's just take it from the party funds. That's probably closer to like 10 silvers. That's probably closer to a gold.
All right. Well spent. Okay. What about my wife? Is she coming with me or what?
Oh God, no.
All right. We've got 2070 left. Spell components.
Okay,
That
2070.
should do. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like rations and stuff like that are going to be included with like provisions in the fort,
The
right?
fort will assign you rations,
Okay.
and there may come a time where they run out of rations. Like I will come up with some system for tracking how much the fort consumes and how much they produce. And you may run into a situation where they don't have the amount of rations that you would like to head off, and that might be one of those
do we
situations
want
where
to do if we're gonna have that be an issue? Do we want to have like because there's gonna be a lot of downtime, right?
perhaps.
Do
But
we want
that's-
downtime activities like hunting and things
Well,
like that? To be
that's
able
what
to
I'm saying is
increase
that
food?
if you come into a situation where the fort is running out of rations for reasons X, Y, and Z, that problem can be solved by you guys just saying we're not going to take any extra, we're just going to wait around for the supplies to build up. Or it could be solved by you guys saying, well, we're going to go bring back some food for the cook to properly prepare and store. So that can become a mechanic of gameplay. Do you want to kill time or do you want to go hunting?
Okay.
Okay. So
I
has
mostly
everyone,
want to
got,
make sure we don't have to buy it.
has everyone got their backpack and their tinderbox on their character sheets?
I don't have a tinderbox. Are we getting one of those?
I don't want
Yeah.
either of those things.
You don't want a tinderbox? All right. I'll have to.
Well, I can be at 2/3 movement and carry a tinderbox.
It's 1 pound. Is that
Tinderbox
the
is-
difference?
Yeah, I'm at 20 pounds.
I'm actually at exactly my encumbrance limit. Although I'm imagining I'll probably wind up, if I'm carrying rations, I'll probably...
Well, here, hold on. Actually, let me throw away half of my sling stones. Okay, I'll take a 1 pound tinderbox.
Okay.
I think I
Really
might.
1 pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little wooden box that contains a bunch of stuff in it. It just 1 pound seemed like a nice metric. If you want to
You're
make an
gonna have to be
argument for a
careful.
half pound, I could probably see that.
Well, I'm carrying the tent and the lantern.
You're gonna need to be carrying the rations, man.
Does someone have a med kit?
Uh-huh.
I assume
One-
that's important for doing your
I don't think so.
healing.
I can't carry it. If someone would like to carry a medkit for me.
Who's got the
I'll
healing?
carry
You
it.
do?
Fucking hell.
Okay, I'm gonna drop the cloak. We need a little bit of extra carrying capacity. I'm gonna drop the cloak and get a scarf
Well,
instead.
Don't get ahead of yourself. I've got another 33 pounds here. Before
Yeah,
I'm gone.
but I have the most warmth points in the party by a significant margin, even with that.
Yeah, you've
So
got
I'm gonna go down
29.
from 29 to 28.
Okay.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
So
So,
that saved me about 10 pounds.
Greg, you're the one with the med kit, or you're the one with the healing proficiency, right?
I am the one with the healing proficiency, yes.
Okay. So in a situation where someone's at 0 and they need to be stabilized, someone with the healing proficiency can do that, provided they have access to a med kit. So let's say you're in a situation where Nick has the med kit and he's fighting something, and Ryan is a little back and he's wounded. If you wanted to healing check Ryan, you would need to like grab the med kit from Nick. It kind of makes sense for the medic to carry the med kit. Is there
Okay.
any way we can adjust your gear?
How heavy is it?
You could drop a warmth and do a scarf instead of a
How heavy is
heavy
it?
cloak. The med kit is 2 pounds.
Is there anything I can carry for you, Greg?
Yeah, here. Let me fuck it. I don't need a sling.
Yeah, you
Just
should have
won't have a weapon.
That sounds like a terrible idea. No, take a sling. You need
Okay.
a sling.
What for?
You need something to do in battle, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the cloak.
That's- sling is
I can wear a
negligible.
cloak and carry anything.
Yeah, so you
What's
so
your
take
strength?
a scarf and
My strength is 6.
God, no wonder we're having problems.
Yeah, that's why I offered to switch my.
No, I like it.
Okay, all right.
yeah, so ditch the heavy cloak and do a scarf. Is that what we want to do?
Maybe
Okay.
Are
at
you ever
20
going to be able to
exact
carry anything?
Yeah. No, we're
Nah.
never even really gonna be able to upgrade his warmth. If we'll have to if we ever get
You'll
a
have to-
magical item that protects from warmth, we know where it goes.
Yeah.
He'll just have to stay on the
Hey, I
dog
can
sled.
now carry 8 more pounds of things. All right, so med kit.
Yeah. Do we have to pay for the medkit though? How much does that cost?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what we do need to do? We need to get a bag of holding, and we just need to keep them inside of it.
Yes.
Medkit is
Medkit
200
costs
copper.
two-
Bag of holding.
Yeah.
How
Huh?
much? 200.
200 copper.
Yeah.
They only survive for like D something hours.
Oh yeah, but you can always just open up the bag and let more air flow in, and then just close it back up again.
As long as the party remembers to do that when they're on watch, and whoever's, not asleep remembers to open the bag occasionally.
We've now got exactly 2,000.
11, 13, 17, 19, 20 out of 20 warmth. Okay.
I changed Greg's heavy cloak to a scarf, right?
Yeah.
How much is that saving me? 130 on copper. Is that right?
Oh, so you got another 130 back.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I can't believe you're taking 6 strength.
I like characters with flaws. I was vastly disappointed I couldn't get Croak with something really low.
I'm sure Neal would have let you nerf him.
I was too scared back when I played Croak. I secretly wanted a really low stat, but I wasn't certain that I was going to survive ever.
Yeah.
And I
That's
really
true.
didn't want to get kicked off the show. And after about 3 or 4 weeks, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is great. This is just normal D&D." And then I played. Like the first few weeks, I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
All
Anyways, moving on from Hardcore Heroes.
Right.
So, have we now got everything?
We have weapon proficiencies, we have non-weapon proficiencies, we have HP, we have gear. Everyone's figured out their saving throws. Those are default.
Oh, I haven't.
So
Yeah, but you know, you're a
You
big boy. You
can't
can
do
handle
it.
saving
I can work
throws.
that out, yeah.
yeah, I still need to distribute my thief points, and I think Greg still needs spells.
Yeah,
Right.
the only thing, my character sheet's done, except for we need to talk about spells.
Okay, the other thing I want from all of you guys is a physical description. I would like that before you go to bed today, so I can pass it on
Yeah.
to
Oh, I can give it to
Matthew
you right now.
Bernhardt.
I can do it right now.
Yeah, can you just
Do
post
we-
it in the Frozen Frontier Discord
Oh,
chat?
do you not
Just
want me to just do it here?
Oh, okay.
I was
well,
gonna
no,
describe
you
it
can
for
you can
the
describe
chat.
it for everyone too, but also post it in the Frozen
Oh, yeah,
Frontier
sure.
Discord chat, so I can send it to Matthew Berger, who's doing all of the overlay work for us.
Yeah, Matthew actually started drawing him for me already.
Yeah,
Like he sent me a draft of the character.
That's awesome.
But anyways, Ferris is. So he's got blonde hair, kind of like slicked back. I always imagined elves having like just slicked back hair that goes down about
Wait,
shoulder
you're an
length.
elf?
Half elf.
Has that been allowed?
yes.
Yep. No,
Been
Neal.
discussed.
I tried to get full elf, but Neal didn't want full elf, so we settled on half elf.
Yes.
That was the compromise. But then, yeah, so he's got slicked back hair that goes down to about shoulder length, pointy ears because he's a half elf. He's got like a tattoo that goes across his face, like a semicircle starting on his forehead down to his cheeks with elven script on top and below it. He's kind of permanently scowling. He's got like a fairly unhappy look as like his default sort of face that he holds. I believe I have him at blue eyes as well. And that's about all I have for Ferris. He's fairly well built, I guess, with 14 strength. He's 5'8" and like 160, I believe. So he's pretty well built.
Okay.
Nice.
Is there anything else we need to do aside from descriptions of characters?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
think we're
like
done.
descriptions. I mean, I've still got my thieves skills. I don't know if anyone has any weighing in on that, or if Neal or Greg have thought about how to metagame
I've
that.
thought about it quite a bit, actually. I have like a dissertation on the theme. Here is neither the time nor the place, I think.
So it's level 1. You get those 12 points so that seems like the way to get your skills to really
Yeah.
high.
That allows you to
So-
get a couple of skills really high if you want to. Right.
So I
off the
think I'm
bat.
going to max out my climb. So if I put 6 points into climb at level 1, I can get to base 22 climbing.
What?
Which is pretty. Yeah. So
Dex plus. What is your?
average of strength and dex is 16 plus a 6 will bring me to 22 climb. So I
Oh,
can
dear
auto
God.
climb. Is the 1 an auto fail in this system?
Yeah. Well,
I would
natural
imagine
one is
one
always a
would
fail.
fail,
Yeah.
So unless I roll a 1, I can climb any default surface. And then I'm imagining there will be tons of penalties if we're like climbing in a blizzard or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a huge table of things that give you like penalties and so there's very few things that give you any bonuses, but they exist.
And other than my climbing, everything else is pretty average between like 7 and 12. So it seems like I should there's no, I don't know. I should probably have Gauge.
I like Gauge
these-
personally. I would really like to see you beta test Gauge for me.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking I'm largely going to be neglecting pickpockets, pick locks, disguise, forge. Is eavesdrop going to come in handy? Can anyone see that being a thing?
I can, yes, because it's not going to be very specifically listening into conversations, but that ability to listen for things carried on the wind could very well come into handy. Like, if
Is that another usage of it? Like you catch rumors and stuff?
Well, it's the equivalent of detect noise, except maybe a little bit better, a little bit less amorphous. So if you wanted to do put your ear to the ground, what do you hear? An eavesdrop skill might be used there.
I'm thinking more along the lines of you're tracking someone or something, and we've lost sight of it because it's snowy or it's foresty or it's something, and you have the possibility of hear it crunching through stuff.
Yeah. Also, if there's any sort of dungeon crawling, listening, what might be on the other side of this door, what could be down this hallway.
Yeah.
You come to a
I
building.
don't doubt this will be a dungeon-filled experience.
Yeah, you come to a building out in the middle of nowhere and want to know what's inside before you just kick open the door.
Although kicking open the door is also an acceptable strategy.
Of course. But you might want to
gotta
hear
use
what's
that
on the
on
other
your
side
strength.
first. So when you hear the people saying, "Oh, what should we feed the hellhounds for dinner tonight, but honey?" You know.
You know to kick open the door and kill the hellhounds first.
Just make sure you quick save, right?
Let's see. All right. So it seems like I'll probably just relatively evenly split points amongst everything.
The way
from here on
when
out.
I built my 11 thieves and tried to figure out which way I like to do it best,
11 thieves.
I did, yeah. I got creative and I started naming them after the 40 thieves. Anyway, the way I decided I like it best is if you max out one thing, right, and get it really high, and then just kind of average everything else out. And then as you level your thief, you can pick and choose what needs to be the next thing you just.
And then do you ever spend points on the high skill?
Huh?
My climbing is 22. Am I ever going to want to put more points into that?
For this campaign, potentially. Because
Like, what are the modifiers looking like?
the modifiers can be somewhat steepish.
Very slip. Icy is -8.
Yeah. For this campaign, I definitely could see that. If you were a climbing specialist in a city, maybe not.
I mean, yeah. So that will be my background, but that is rapidly going to be changing. Okay. All right.
Okay. So last check through. Aside from thief skills, is there anything else that we need to do before we start the game?
Just spells.
Just spells.
Yeah.
Nick, you think of anything?
No, I think. I mean, unless you want everyone else to
Somebody
go through
tell me, just so I can write it down on my character sheet, how much we've set aside for spell components?
2,130.
2130. Okay.
I'm looking through my sheet and seeing if there's anything. I speak Common and Elvish, I assume.
Sure.
Oh, can I have a sub common? Like, can I speak Russian?
Why don't we, when you and I talk about your spells, let's talk a little bit about your backstory. In fact, we should probably all meet and discuss our backstories at some point. I know there's only like a week left before the game starts, but we should each have some sort of. I think Sean and I have already covered his backstory in depth.
Yeah, I can. I fleshed out a little bit of the details, and I can send it to you if you want. But like,
that'd be great.
It's fairly personal stuff, but yeah.
That'd be great. So I think we should all meet, discuss backstories a little bit. You should have character physical descriptions, including what gear you're carrying, in as much detail as you're willing to go into, so that I can provide it for the artists to do some work for us, and that way we can also, tell chat and everything. And then I think it's just Ryan getting thief skills and Greg getting spells, and then we meet back up next week for our prequel adventure.
You haven't told chat about that.
Right. So we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but if you haven't been watching the live streams, the prequel adventure that we're going to be doing next week is going to be kind of a series of one-on-one sessions-ish. So it's going to start with Nick, who's the party leader, getting this sort of mission, being assigned to this task by somebody, and kind of role-playing the moment he gets this job. And then it's going to go to Nick going around to these 3 other people and recruiting them for this job, and his sort of like, well, here you are, random tattooed wizard on the streets. I really need you to go down and freeze your balls off with me. And, here you are, strange-looking half-elf man covered in furs from head to toe. You look like you'd be useful. Come to me. And hey there, treasure hunter who's stealing things from my wife right now. Instead of arresting you, why don't you come with me and let's go do this? So
I like it.
And so then there'll be like a little bit of role playing between Nick and each of the individual players or individual characters, and he'll probably know a lot more about their backstory than the rest of the crew, and that the backstories can kind of come out over time. So that's the plan. But I think that means we're done for this stream, and we're done for today.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to Nick a bit about prepping for that. But we can do that. We can do that after the stream.
Yeah, I can stick around for a bit.
Yeah, I encourage you guys to talk with Nick about your backstory so you can work out some sort of conceivable reason he would be coming to you to ask you to do this sort of thing. If you guys want to talk with him personally or loop me in on that conversation, we can do group chats in Discord.
Yeah, we can just do it like right now. As soon as we cut the stream, we can just
Sure.
talk about it before we end the call.
Sure. Well, I'm going to be working with Greg for spells, so we're going to stay in the call.
Okay.
But do loop me into whatever chats you're having with Nick regarding how your characters might be introducing and acting together.
All right.
Okay. So we're gonna call it for today.
Sounds good.
We will see all of you guys back next week on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time for our first episode of Frozen Frontier, the Caledonian Expedition.
Frofro.
Frofro, for short. And to help mitigate the pain that you feel after you all freeze to death in the first episode. All right, that's it, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.